Coach, I saw where Bowling Green won a tough overtime game last week. What are your early impressions of them?
I think they're good. I think they're a good, scrappy team. You know, they play hard start to finish, and, you know, we're just getting into the film now. But, no, they look good. They look good and could have won all three of them pretty easily.
Mike, I think in that Arkansas game last year was when on a 4th and 1, Will kept and ran for the first down himself. On those, you know, shotgun plays and he's handing off the ball, does he have the option himself kind of there to decide if he wants to pull it and take it himself, or is that something you guys kind of determine pre-snap?
He's pulled it before, you know, and one of them was going to, but just didn't get the ball out, you know.
What's kind of been your message to your guys kind of post that game? And do you kind of view this game as, you know, a nice little break from SEC play before you kind of get back into there to work on something?
I don't view anything as breaks. I just view the week each season as a segment to get better and improve, and we've identified plenty to improve on from the film of last game, and we got to get a week better this week.
Coach, you talking about being explosive. You got a couple guys, Ra and Tulu, that appear to be very explosive, but they play the same position. Is there ever like a scenario where you could get them both on the field at the same time, and kind of how do you approach that?
Well, maybe. I mean, the thing is one of the reasons they're explosive is because they kind of know what they're doing, where they're at, you know. So the execution level's higher, and then the other thing is in some case, you know, it's just a sequence of when they got there. I mean, there was a point, 6 months ago, nobody knew who Ra was, and then. Well, then the other thing is Ducking's on the other side, and so, you know, do you play him or those other two? And he's, you know, had some good games. I didn't think he played particularly well this last game, but, you know, he's had some good games and definitely brings some things to the table there. So, you know, you have to balance, you know, whether we're going to sit him down on behalf of something like that. But the other thing is you know, they can kind of execute where they're at, and to have a guy go over there and start guessing what he's doing, you know, that's going to take several weeks to iron out. So,
Coach, last year you guys proved to be a pretty resilient bunch, whether it was coming back from defeats or in the middle of games, overcoming big deficits. Just, I guess, kind of a two-part question. What have you kind of see out of your guys as you saw them yesterday, and just how much can they draw on that experience from last year of being able to shake it off and as you move forward?
well, I don't know for sure. I mean, the biggest thing is stick together, work hard, and stay focused, and understand. You know, be, you know, critical of what you can improve on, and do it. You know.
Mike, how confident are you that your guys are going to be able to kind of bounce back from Saturday?
Well, I've been confident every Saturday, really. I mean, that's, you just prepare and get better, and go out there and play the best you can.
Some more reps for Deshaun Page this past week. I guess, what have you seen from him maybe in these first few weeks of the season? You know, the progression you've kind of been looking for him, and, you know, what role or increased role you think he could have, you know, as the season goes on?
We'd like him to play more and more. You know, I mean, I think he's kind of emerging. He's doing some things better and better, and you know, the more depth we get, you know, the fresher we can play too.
Coach, it appeared for 3 quarters the defense was absolutely lights out, and maybe gassed out a little bit there in the 4th quarter. What do you kind of attribute that to? Is it, you know, lack of continuity on offense? Is it a rotation thing? Is it about building depth? What would you kind of assess that to be?
No, I thought all 3 sides, you know, buckled at key times, and I think that, you know, I just think that, you know, and the other guy has something to do with it too, because, you know, LSU's a good team and has good players, and were certainly highly decorated when they came out of high school, and most of them I think have improved. So there is that, but I think that, you know, the biggest thing is we just have to stay focused and do our jobs for longer. We got to play harder longer, and and we didn't. And then plus they're a tough group anyway, so that presents its own challenges. But it was certainly there for us because we did things on all three sides of the ball that lost the game, and we did things on all three sides of the ball that could have won it too.
With Xavier and Austin both, back there returning punts, I guess, are there specific roles that they're going to have of when, one guy is in, and do you anticipate that, staying the same moving forward?
Xavion's getting better and better. I mean, he's just a freshman, so we've quickly worked with him to teach him to be a punt returner, and I think he certainly looked good. I mean, this was about as good a punt return debut as I've seen a guy have, and so no, I think he's going to be returning more punts, and that role could definitely grow.
Coach, how would you assess where your offensive line's at right now?
The first 2 weeks, I thought they played real well. I did not think they played together particularly well this last week.
Do you look at Saturday as a learning experience at all for, coaching staff or any of your guys? And what kind of do you think y'all can learn the most from that game and apply it moving forward?
They're all learning experiences. And then I think, consistency is easy to talk about, but, you do everything sore and fatigued in football, and then, and then all of a sudden you're tested, and I think that we just have to take that step. We have to be able to, do it harder, longer.
Anything else? Steve?
Obviously, the end result is to win the game this Saturday, but what are you looking for maybe perhaps from the team to feel like they've taken the next step?
Well, we got to play well the entire time. Anytime you have a play, you need to play well, and it doesn't matter, what the situation is, what the score is, and you can't sit there and pay attention to what happened in the past or any scenarios or judgments. I think we waste too much time making judgments on situations of the game or something that happened the previous play, and that's reckless and counterproductive, and I know it hurt us on Saturday.
Obviously, coming off, tough back-to-back road trips, I guess, do you feel some excitement maybe for your team to kind of start the stretch of 3 in a row playing here at Davis Wade Stadium?
Our schedule certainly didn't help us, leading into this week. We'd had, I don't know, I can't remember how long the first game lasted. The first game probably lasted 12 hours. Then the next game, fly to Arizona, supposed to get back at 6 in the morning. We get back at 10:30 in the morning. And then head to LSU. I don't think it helped us much, but I think, you just gotta fight through it, and you gotta, you just do it anyway,
Mike, I know you've been around a lot of teams and players after some losses at some point, so you'd be probably a good judge of this, but how would you kind of assess how the players have responded to it so far in terms of their preparation, film watching, and just kind of attitude since the game Saturday?
I think we play hard. We play hard. We practice hard. I think we're a little quick to get discouraged. I think we're kind of fragile as far as getting discouraged when we face adversity, and we've got to fight through that.
Steve?
Following up on that question, does that surprise you a little bit, considering kind of the age of this team, that they're battling adversity a little bit?
Well, the better the opponent, the more that there is. We're really not particularly old on offense. We have some starts under our belts, but we're not particularly old. We are older on defense. We are older on defense. And then, the biggest thing is I mean, both of our trenches, we got to take charge and take control of things, and the offensive line and the defensive line, I think, is where a lot of it starts. But then, but no, I mean, there's going to be adversity. That's why they have a football game in the first place, to create adversity and see who comes through it. And so, and the way you come through it is is you have the discipline to do your job more times in a row than the guy across from you, so that's what we got to do.
John.
I know you just mentioned what you all have to do, but is there anything like you can kind of say to your guys to kind of, help address that and help them, be less like that than what you mentioned?
So you think there was a sentence or two that wasn't said last week? I mean, left out a phrase maybe, a couple words, maybe a key adjective here or there. No, I think it's a little more complex than that.
With the struggles on extra points, have you considered going for 2 here on out, or is that not something?
Yes, I have, and I've considered kicking some of them myself.